right. Well, welcome to this installation of GBM Hangover. I'm David.
I'm Chris.
And here we are again. And we're here to entertain you with our whimsy.
Dropping drops of ambrosia. Audio ambrosia right into your ear hole.
Audio ambrosia. With my face for radio. Yes. Yep. So we had a GBM the other night and had some beers. Had our beers.
Couple two tree
beers.
We had a couple alcohols.
We did. We had some alcohols. I didn't attend the full event, but it kind of goes back to what we talked about before, which is, the event exists always the same night. We do it the way we do it. Come if you can come. This time I had some Tuesday morning engagements that I had to be a part of, so I wasn't able to attend the full event. But that's also okay. It
happens whether you can make it or not.
There you go. So I wasn't able to partake in every beer. It sounds like I missed a really good one, and
happens.
It's kind of a bummer. Actually, I might go home and have one because I have one in my cellar, and now I'm kind of upset that I missed it. But yeah, we had that New Glarus strawberry rhubarb, which is a really great beer.
Well, a New Glarus fruit ales alone, I feel like that's a thing that they do, and that's a thing that they're known for.
Yeah, they really are so good, and they've been doing them forever, and it's kind of funny in sea of fruited sours and hazies and everything else. I mean, you can see right through those beers, but boy, are they good. They're just kind of their own thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know of anybody that really does them exactly like that, but man, are they good. And that's one of my few fives on Untapped. I don't have a lot of fives, but that particular beer is one of my fives. I really like that beer. So that was a real treat.
Well, we did the Enigma 23 as well. And that's another fruited sour from New Glarus. And I feel like their R&D series and their Thumbprint series especially have a lot of credibility within just the scope of craft beer, especially in the Midwest. And New Glarus not distributing out of Wisconsin, kind of goes a long way for them. So everybody in the country that knows of New Glarus always wants it. So it's a great trade bait.
That's true. Yeah. That is true. Yeah.
But, their other beers, obviously Spotted Cow, Two Women Lager, a bunch of other, also great stuff. But, their sour fruited program is incredible.
Yeah, it really is. It is definitely memorable. We did the old stock.
So we started with the 2009 North Coast Old Stock.
Yeah, I remember groaning a little when we took that one out, and I thought, this is about to taste like an old beer. This is a 2009 Old Stock, and I'm like, okay.
Well, when you pour out a beer like that, and it looks like it's liquid that has sat in an old briefcase for 11 years.
Yeah,
you kind of like, it's not going to be that great.
Yeah, actually, 16 years.
Well,
to be clear.
Yes, but I'm just saying, something that's sat for a long time in an old leather briefcase.
Totally.
That's what it looks like. Mm-hmm. It's actually kind of what it smells like too.
Yeah, it usually tastes a little bit like cardboard, and you say, that's the barrel. That's not the barrel. That's an old beer. That's
I don't even think that Old Stock is barrel aged.
Exactly right. But actually, it was surprisingly still pretty good. So I think we all drank it. Yeah. We all drank it and all kind of enjoyed it. And I thought that was nice.
Well, old ales, kind of like barley wines and stouts, do a really good job with allowing the carbonation to kind of dissipate and leave. So even if it's a little bit of a still beer, it still has a lot of really good flavor. It has a lot of that old world beer flavor. So I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
But it's also not something that I'm 90-degree day sitting down after mowing the lawn. I could really go for one of these.
I could really open a 2009 Old Stock right now.
Feels refreshing.
Oh, yeah. It's like drinking mud.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, that one was good. The amazing beer, though, that you guys opened was the Bourbon County, the special number 4. Was that 2019?
It was 2020.
2020. Yeah. Love that beer. It's such a good beer.
Well, it's a nice mix of an oatmeal stout base, which most Bourbon County base beers aren't oatmeal stouts. They're just Bourbon County Stout.
Right.
And then, so I don't know if like they just added oatmeal because it says an oatmeal stout on the label.
Yeah.
But then with maple syrup, but the maple syrup is obviously not really there, and it's not super, I don't know, like it's not overpowering.
Right.
It just kind of adds an element to the
It's
beer.
probably fading too at this point a little bit. Is it? There's coffee in it too, right?
I think so.
I think there's some coffee in it too. Yeah. Yeah. It's just a really good beer. I've just always loved it. And I'm surprised I haven't drank through all of mine yet. I feel like I do have 1 or 2 bottles left, but I really do enjoy that beer. Yeah, it's a really great beer. So little upset I didn't get to stick around and enjoy that one, but hey, do what you got to do.
Well, lucky for you, we've got like 10 left.
There you go.
So we can get after it.
That's what friends are for.
Yeah.
Nice. Love that.
Hey, look at us. Look at us winning.
Look at us collecting beer. What else was on the list? Was there anything else that was kind of
not really much of a standout? We did 2019 Rye Way to Heaven.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, Deep Woods.
Yeah, it's a great beer.
Always good.
Always good. Yeah.
We did Transient Neckbeard Nectar.
I do remember that one.
That was from 2018.
Yeah.
That was.
I remember it held up okay.
It did, and it had a shit ton of cinnamon in it.
Mm-hmm.
Cinnamon in it.
Cinnamon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Easy for you to say.
So those are probably like the main standouts and highlights.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not like, it was actually kind of a shorter list for that night, which is okay. I mean, we had fewer people, which isn't a bad thing.
Yeah, it was kind of the core group. It was a little smaller group. We've had a lot of visitors lately, so it was okay to have a little smaller group this time. But it's maybe a nice transition to kind of what we talked about. What we were going to talk about today, which you mentioned cinnamon and maple syrup, 2 very significant adjuncts. And while we're talking about adjuncts and especially maple syrup, I think we were going to talk about another brewery today,
Mikerphone,
which is the pronunciation. It's a special way to pronounce it in Elk Grove in its native habitat.
Mikerphone from Elk Grove.
Elk Grove.
Elk Grove. Oh, so French.
It's in Illinois we know how to pronounce all the names properly.
Yeah.
I could go through a long list of cities that we pronounce properly here in Illinois. Illinoising. But we were going to talk about Mikerphone, which is a brewery out of Elk Grove, Illinois. And one we frequent a lot and enjoy their beers. We're actually enjoying one right now. And in celebration of their 10th anniversary, we're drinking a beer called Satisfaction, which is a barrel-aged stout, which is something they know a bit about.
Mm-hmm.
This one is quite good.
It's actually a collaboration with Toppling Goliath.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's rich.
It is very rich. Yeah.
It coats the inside of the glass. It tastes like a candy bar.
It really does. It's got a very interesting texture to it. It's very silky, very smooth.
I don't necessarily know exactly what candy bar I would say it is, because every single time I have it, it tastes like a different type of candy bar.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like the last time I had it, it kind of tasted like 100 grand. If you remember those.
Yeah, I do.
That flavor profile between like the caramel, the chocolate,
right? A lot of coconut.
A little bit of coconut and nougat.
Yep.
Kind of that sort of space of flavor.
Yep.
But it's very rich. And honestly, like, even when this was fresh and we had it on draft there, I thought it was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And these aren't, we've talked before about when we've mentioned that Mikerphone beers, generally ones you don't want to cellar or sit on for a very long time.
Yep.
But I mean, this has been, I don't know, a couple months. And I still think that this could probably go for a little bit of time. But
to be fair, I did put this one right in the fridge when I brought it home. I did buy it when it was released, and then I put it right in the fridge. It's been in the fridge the whole time. And usually with theirs, I do that because they are pretty heavily adjuncted. They're the ones that are only barrels, and they do that with some of them. Those I'm less worried about keeping for a while.
Yeah.
But
the Mikerphone 5.
Right.
That
Great
was
beer. Oh my goodness.
excellent beer.
That beer was crazy good.
Talk about like a beer barrel time forward type of beer where there's no adjuncts. All the flavor you're getting is from the base beer and the woods of the barrels.
Mm-hmm.
That was honestly, that is one of my top favorites. And then my next top favorite is the barrel aged one man wrecking machine.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like a smaller cousin of this one. Because it has a lot of coconut, had a lot of chocolate.
Yep.
Very, very smooth, silky. The mouthfeel is just kind of like a syrupy, like just coats everything. But, you know, it was also not one of those that you felt like it was so cloying that you were about to, you know, need an insulin shot. You know?
Yeah.
It's really good. And obviously with a microphone and to a certain extent, Toppling Goliath, when they actually do their adjuncts, they're huge fans of not only lactose, but also maple syrup.
Yep.
I mean, they use those adjuncts like people use butter.
Yeah, we tease a lot about maple syrup with Mikerphone, but you know, they do a lot of maple syrup in their beers, and it's great. It's great, but they do it heavy. When they do it heavy.
You know, speaking of butter, total side note.
Okay.
But I was cleaning out my fridge.
Yeah.
And why the fuck does butter have the penthouse suite? And everyone's like it's either on a dish,
up high, yeah,
but it's in one of the doors and it's got like a little cover,
right?
And it's just that's where the butter lives.
I don't know, like what made the butter so important that it gets the top billing.
I mean, I get it, especially in Paula Deen's recipes. It's in fucking everything
and lots of it. Yeah, no, that's a good point.
But I was kind of wondering, like,
yeah,
what gives that the penthouse suite? Is it because everybody's obsessed with butter?
Good question. Yeah, I don't know.
I think I actually read a statistic somewhere that Americans on average consume 10, and that's probably even the wrong number. It's probably too low, but like 10.5 pounds of butter a year.
My God. That's a lot of butter.
Can you imagine 10 pounds of butter just sitting right there?
No.
Gross.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Loose stools for days.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, if you consumed it all at the same time, sure, yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Mikerphone.
Yeah, this was not a promotion for Mikerphone. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, it's funny. When we first started going to Mikerphone, and I love their tap room, by the way. Love spending time there, and we know people there. But when I first started going there, I remember, and this was years ago, I remember thinking barrel-aged stouts and IPAs. That's kind of what they had. That's what I would go there for. And all the IPAs felt like they were very experimental to me, you know? And which brings me to this, you know where I'm going with this story, I think.
God, I hope so.
Yeah. And so, you know, one of my favorite stories with Mikerphone was they had, Mike had released the bubblegum IPA. I think it was for his daughter. Every year he put out a beer for his daughter. And we were chatting with Wojo about it one time. And we ordered the bubblegum beer. And we drank it, and we were like, "Oh my God, it's exactly what it's supposed to be. It's exactly right. Like it is a bubblegum flavored IPA, and it tastes like the bubblegum that you get like in a deck of cards or like a pack, you know, like the big league chew or whatever. That it's got the powdered sugar, the powdered flavor, that like powder that comes in it, and the whole thing." It's perfect. It tastes exactly right. But I don't like it. It's not good. And I don't ever want to have it again. But it tastes perfect. Like you guys nailed it. Like it's exactly what it should be. But I don't like this beer and I don't want to have it again. Right.
Yeah.
But it was such a like dichotomy for me anyway. Cause I was like, it's obviously perfect. Like you guys nailed it. Like it couldn't be more perfect. But I don't want this beer again. But like I'm so glad I tried it because you guys nailed it. Like it was just so funny because it was like it's definitely not you, it's me.
Yeah.
Like
I remember taking a sip of that beer and being like, "Oh my God,
that's perfect.
That's incredible." And like, "Oh, did you like it?"
No, really. No, I don't like it. But wow, nice job.
Yeah.
Like wow.
So you know, I think that's one of like the very few beers that I just wasn't for me. You know, I mean, I haven't loved all of the beers that Mikerphone's come out with, but obviously if you're experimenting and trying new things.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, it's
not everything is going to land. I mean, that's just part of experimentation.
And not necessarily with everybody.
Right.
I mean, there's obviously other people that enjoyed it.
They must have, sure.
So, I mean, it's, if you loved every single beer from every single brewery, like there'd be something
that's weird,
heinously wrong with you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I feel like, one of the beers that they're really well known for is Imperial Smells Like Bean Spirit.
Love that beer.
And also the barrel aged version.
So
and
good.
Then all of the variants.
Coffee beers, and their coffee beers are just banging.
But it's a lot.
Yep, it is a lot. That's fair.
It is a lot, and it's kind of one of those beers that I can't drink a lot of, especially the barrel aged version. It gets to be a little hot, but in small doses, which craft beer is essentially made to share with your friends anyway.
Yeah.
So if you can,
and we generally do. Like we'll open it with a group of people, and that's the way we drink it. So
as you should.
Yep.
I mean the Zuper or the Super Smells Like that had like the extra coffee. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean there was one that we had one year that was I think maybe done in absinthe barrels or Malort barrels or something.
Those are tough.
Or maybe it was aquavit barrels. Anyway, one of those was just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But I mean, of course, there's people out there that would like that. So,
yep.
But usually, like you were saying, like when you used to think of Mikerphone, you would think barrel-aged stouts or big sweet stouts and hazy IPAs.
Yep.
And then they did start coming out with some fruited stuff.
And nowadays they have a lot in the middle. They do have which is great, right? I mean, they've got lagers, and they've got pales, and they've got a lot of like actually pilses and stuff like that too. For a while they had a table beer. I haven't seen that one in a little bit, but they had like a table beer that was I feel like it was like a 3% kind of table beer that you could drink and I remember really enjoying that one. But it's been a while. That's been a few years since I saw that one. You know what? I just popped into my head was it Daydream Believer?
Probably.
Was it that coffee stout they just had? It was a few months ago.
Oh, yeah,
it was recent. It was recent. And I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest beer I've ever tasted in my life. I was just over the moon with that beer. I liked it so much.
Chocolatey base note stout.
Oh my God, it was good. And
like just nice roasty cold brew coffee.
God, it was good. And I bought a bunch of it, and then I drank through all of it as fast as I could because I was just like, this beer is not going to get better.
No.
So just drink it now.
If anything,
drink it all now.
It's getting worse by the day.
Yeah, exactly.
The minute.
Every minute is getting less coffee. So I just drank them all as fast as I could. But oh my God, that beer was just amazing. So anyway, yeah, they're so good. I did do a little just research real quick. Obviously they just had their 10th anniversary. So
if you do the math,
so that's easy math.
10 years
even
ago,
for me. So they founded in 2015. Mike opened not in Elk Grove.
He was brewing out of Slapshot. Originally.
So and then he moved into Elk Grove, I guess, in 2017. And it was actually just kind of that one section. If you've been to the tap room, it was the left side, the not blue side. Let's say.
And when he first opened, there were lines to get in there. To the point where, like, you could not get in unless somebody came out.
It was like the hottest place. Like the lines were out the door, and the releases were huge. And I feel like when I look at the top 100 lists, even in the country, like Mikerphone was on that list, like a bunch of places.
And he actually originally started canning, I believe, in 24-ounce cans. And I think the first one that I ever had of his was an IPA with coffee.
Okay.
Which was interesting. Like, it wasn't my favorite IPA with coffee.
Sure.
But it was good.
Yeah. IPAs with coffees are kind of weird.
Stone Mocha and, oh, dude, there's some good ones.
There's some good ones, for sure. Yeah, but they're just kind of hit or miss for me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's a separate episode, I guess. But, and then they expanded that taproom in 2019. I think was when they did that.
And then they opened up.
Added that blue side over there.
They called it the Blue Room.
Yeah, the Blue Room. And boy, that really opened that whole space up. That really got much bigger and it more than doubled the size of the tap room and added that whole new bar over there and really just made the whole space sing and open up to the outside now. And boy, when the weather's nice, what a great place to hang out. I mean, and the staff's great. Everybody over there's a ton of fun and good vibes. And yeah, anyway. It's a great place to hang out. And And of course now they do the car show, which we're pretty much regulars at now, which is fun. We take the cars over there, which is a lot of fun.
I mean, the car's not changing, but it's still a good day to hang out.
It is a good day to hang out. Yeah. So, I mean, I can't think of a better thing to do than to hang out with my car and drink beers and hang out with people I like. I mean,
it was like 2 years ago when it was like 105.
Oh God, that was a hot
so
day.
Hot.
It was a hot day. Yeah, no doubt. They had coffee when we first showed up, and I'm like, maybe water.
I'm good.
Maybe water would be good. Yeah.
Your donuts are melting.
It was a hot day.
It was really hot.
Yeah, it was kind of nasty, but
good times. They do a lot of really good stuff. And Mike's got this beautiful blue truck.
Yeah, it's a Blazer.
Oh my God. And it's not like, a new Blazer.
Oh no, it's an old Blazer. Yeah, it's a restored Blazer. If I had to guess, I'd say, and I'm going to get this wrong, so hopefully, Mike will forgive me. I think it's a C10 Blazer, so it's like the late 70s, early 80s, like somewhere in there. Blazer, but it's gorgeous. It's one of the ones, the 2-door with the roof that comes off, and I think he had it restored. If he didn't, he found a really, really nice example. And of course, it's painted up in the Mikerphone colors, and it's a beauty. Yep. It's real, real nice. So for a car guy like me, I'm a big fan. So, and then they do lots of great food trucks and events. We did, obviously, we're fans of Biker Dude burgers, and he's done competitions there and things like that. So we'll go over and check those out, and that's always a fun day too.
They've got Thursday night pinball tournaments usually.
Yep.
They always have like a huge schedule of events for the entire month. Our buddy Wojo, I don't know if we've mentioned him on the podcast yet, but he's the manager over there, and we've known him for years. I've known him for well before even Mikerphone, and the guy does a really good job at running a great ship and kind of getting things all planned out. And they've done some showdowns, like the chicken sandwich showdown that they just recently did.
Yep, that was a fun day.
And around the holidays, they've always got like a lot of family friendly kind of things going on. The whole place is family friendly, but they'll do a lot of stuff that's like family focused, as well as something that can cater to people that aren't of drinking age. Like they've got some of like the slushies and things that are non-alcoholic for some of the people, even the people that don't just want to drink, that they can have something.
Actually, that's true. They have cocktails and stuff too. They do cocktails if you don't like beer. And then, when I bring the kids, they've got slushies that are non-alcoholic and things like that they can serve them. And they have, different food, even if there's not food trucks and stuff like that. But, speaking of the slushies, I was trying to find the info earlier. And actually, if anybody's watching this, like Wojo, or if anybody knows the answer to this, I feel like it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago, some Chicago news source, it was like ABC, NBC, CBS, something like that.
Probably WGN.
Yeah, it might have been WGN. That's a good point. Yeah, it could have been, because they're local news, like it's CBS, or local Chicago news. Came out and did like a little piece about Mikerphone, because they were doing the slushies, and I think, I don't know whether they interviewed Wojo or not, because I feel like he was kind of pushing them at that time. And I was trying to find that online, kind of in preparation for our talk today, and couldn't find anything on it. And I don't know. There's other places that do beer slushies, so it's not like the Mikerphone's the only place that does it. But I remember seeing that, Mikerphone on the news, and I was like, look at that. It was just kind of weird. I was like, I know that place. But they were promoting that, and I remember thinking this isn't such a big deal. But then of course I saw it on the news, and I was like, I guess this is kind of a big deal. People aren't used to this kind of thing. Like, we're in the craft beer circle, so we're kind of like, people do wacky shit with beer. Like, we see this a lot. So somebody doing something wacky with beer doesn't freak me out, really. Like, I just see that kind of thing all the time, and when somebody does something new, I'm like, there's something new.
I think really the only two places that I know that were doing it, at least at the time, and that do them fairly regularly, is Mikerphone and More.
Okay. More. I haven't seen Moore's machine running in a while, though.
I think it might.
I was over there the other day, and it's empty. As far as I know, Mikerphone's still doing it actively. I mean, there's always seem to be running. They usually have an alcoholic and a non-alcoholic when I go. So,
are we just running out of ideas here?
I just think we're just doing new stuff.
We got chocolate flavored like alcoholic ice cream.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
got-
What I like about it is when you bring one back to the table, right? Because you go up and get a couple beers or whatever, and then you come back with a Frosty, essentially, right?
Yeah.
With like whipped cream on it or on the top of it and a straw sticking out. And you're like, here's your beer. You're like, okay, that doesn't look like a beer, but
No.
okay. Tastes good though,
Oh, it tastes fantastic.
It's like,
But
it reminds me of being a kid and going to 7-Eleven and just,
You know, I could really go for a nice cold beer. Here you go. Here's a frozen one.
It's a frozen beer. I mean,
No.
This is pretty much a ice cold beer. So
It's good.
they're tasty. They're weird, but it's it's just fun.
Yeah.
It's like you're just doing something different, which I think is great.
So as this kind of going back to their anniversary releases, this Satisfaction, now that it's kind of opened up and warmed up a little bit, trying to continually review this beer, since I know that it's been something that's been asked of us to do on this podcast, is review a beer a little bit more in depth. But now that it's actually gotten to open up a little bit and you can actually swirl it around, it's got some solid legs. It's actually very messy on the inside of the glass, which I'm not mad about. But the flavors, especially now when I drink it, and the mouthfeel are almost as if I were to take a bite out of a candy bar and like just let it sit in my mouth and melt,
right,
and then swallow it. And it's because it's thick,
right.
It's like it's got a lot of viscosity to it, and it's like I feel like the chocolate and the coconut are making that choco nut kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I still get some sort of like crackery nougat, like kind of baseline in there somewhere.
Okay.
Which is wild.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm trying. What was the other beer they did for their 10th anniversary? There was another one. I don't have that bottle anymore. I bought one of those too.
Yeah, I can't for the life of me remember what that one was called, but it was also very good.
Yeah.
I feel like I like the Satisfaction just a nod better.
Yeah.
Actually, it might have been just called 10.
I think it might have been. Yeah. If you know, leave it in the comments, or a link to it or something.
I feel like it was a blue label with like a stick figure drawing of like this like kind of guy.
Right. I think you're right. I think it was. Oh, you know what? That's a Pearl Jam reference.
Yeah. Music.
Yep, music. That's Mikerphone, right? All music references.
Yep.
So
craft beer inspired by music.
There it is. Yeah. Which, that's their thing. So
that is their thing.
It is all music references and, beer inspired by music. And that's Mikerphone. So
Mikerphone, Micah Chow.
Oh, well, I don't know.
No.
Well, I wanted to go there with you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, it's probably best that I go by myself.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You should go there alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're like Luke going into the forest on Dagobah by yourself. Who knows what you're going to run into?
Also, speaking of that, we've never talked about this on the podcast, but you and I are on the same page with this.
Okay.
When Luke goes to Dagobah, it's a whole fucking planet.
Yes.
And he's looking for a guy that's the size of a large Teddy Ruxpin.
And he lands right next to his house.
How?
In a whole planet.
He doesn't even know where he is, and he's like, I hope we can find him.
Hope we find this guy
if he's even still alive.
That's the size of a teddy bear, and you landed right next to his house.
You just happen to find him
on an entire planet.
And then he's eating your breadsticks.
Yeah. And he's think about this. He's a master Jedi, and he's beating R2-D2 with a stick.
Yep.
To get a carrot. I don't know about all that. You know what I mean?
Like, what the fuck?
I feel like if he wanted the carrot, he could just take the carrot.
It's a whole planet. It's a whole planet, right. And he's finding one guy.
Yep, and he found him. I think about that a lot. Or they'll like ask for somebody. Can you imagine if you like landed on Earth and you're like, "Hey, do you know where Chris is?" And they'd be like, "Oh yeah, he's over there." And you're like, "Okay, thanks."
You just got lucky enough to land within 50 yards. Also, Dagobah was a shithole of a planet.
It's pretty foggy. It's a pretty foggy
It's
place.
just a massive swamp. It's like crappy.
Yeah. I'd lose my X-Wing. That would be no fun.
I hate it when I lose my X-Wing.
I hate when I lose my X-Wing.
It's like you're pushing the button to get the beeping sound.
It's too big. I don't think I can lift it out of there. Size matters not.
God damn it. Where do we park?
Oh, we could just go on and on. We could just turn this into a Star Wars thing, couldn't we? Oh my
The
goodness.
world doesn't need another Star Wars podcast.
Maybe it does though. Maybe it needs a beer flavored Star Wars podcast. We could just say, that there's another Spaceballs coming out.
There is another Spaceballs coming out.
That in itself is something kind of special. To
Necessary? No. Needed? No. Wanted? Sure.
Yes, for sure. Yep. Mel Brooks is quite old though.
He is.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate that he's the age he is, and we're still going to get another Spaceballs.
Was he 98?
He is, well, no. I think what we said was he was going to be 101 in 2027 when it comes out. So, yeah, he's 99. He was just turning 99 in this month, in June, or something like that.
I don't know.
So
he's old. He's probably dead already. They're just doing the Weekend at Bernie's thing.
It's a good run. You know what I mean? I hope I get to 99. That's a good run.
Pull on the wrong lever, his arms come off. Oh shit!
Oh no! Yogurt. What's happened? Cut. So is Armand. Anyway. Oh man, I think we might have reached the end of our episode.
Yeah, we're going off the rails.
Okay, so here's the thing. Mikerphone's great. You should visit their tap room in Elk Grove, buy their beers, and enjoy them like we do. Also, we need people to watch the episodes and like and subscribe. So if you have not been doing that, please do that. Although if you are not watching, you probably aren't seeing this. So I don't know what to do about that. But you should watch if you haven't been. So please watch, like, and subscribe. Share with your friends. Send links around. We could use more subscribers. We're coming up on the end of our first season.
This is the end of our first season.
This is the end of our first season. So that's great. So we need ideas for season 2. Because, I guess this is our last episode of our first season.
Yep.
It's pretty exciting.
This is episode 10.
It's episode 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
We did more than Star Wars movies.
I know. Whether or not they're better, I don't know.
Oh, they're definitely not better. But that's okay.
Might be better than the first 3.
Yeah.
What a dumpster fire that was.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but don't worry, I'm not going to go into a Jar Jar Binks impression. Nobody
should do that.
Nobody wants that. So we're not going to do that. So we should end on that. That's a high note.
It is a high note.
No Jar Jar Binks impressions, and maybe that can be our tagline. So GBM Hangover, no Jar Jar Binks impressions. Ka-chow.